I'm Sophie, and you're watching The Science of It. How much do you know, or how much do you think you know, about science? Well, you're in luck, because this week I've got a science quiz for you, so you'll be able to find out. And once you know, you can challenge your friends. Question number 1. Triton is the only large moon in our solar system with an orbit the opposite direction to its planet's rotation. Which planet is Triton a satellite of?
I remember in primary 2, there was a song that we had to learn, and this was part of the song. But I can't remember.
To sing it. Oh
yeah,
my
I thought it was
gosh.
either Jupiter or Saturn.
I think it's either Jupiter or Saturn.
I was gonna say Jupiter or Saturn.
Yeah, I put down Jupiter though.
Up, down, strange, charm, top and bottom are known as flavours of which kind of subatomic particle?
Flavours.
Flavours.
Okay.
They have flavors? Oh, no.
Yeah, there's flavors?
Yes,
They're
the
not thinking
tastiest
about
part of
physics
science.
over here.
Okay,
No
we
flavour.
might just
What
not
is a
have
flavor
learnt it.
though?
No
Because
flavour.
sometimes
could
on
be
like lip balm it's like orange flavored, but it doesn't taste like orange, it just smells like
Yeah, so you could have
Even is a
orange flavoured
flavour.
electrons.
Oh, amazing,
But
yeah.
orange is made of, it's like chemicals which are made of atoms which are made of electrons, so why would the subatomic particle be the thing that like
How many watts is 1 horsepower?
I should know this.
It's a difficult one.
I should know it, but I don't. There's a
Yeah.
6 in it. I
Yeah.
have a feeling.
I'm gonna stick to 1,000.
I'm going for 666. You can't deter me.
What is the name given to a certain type of material that conducts electricity without resistance?
It doesn't
A
weigh-
conductor.
No,
I
but
was just gonna say-
conductors
You're
have
close.
a resistance though. Everything
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they do.
a
Is it like water?
just did this
So
in
like water
physics.
has less resistance.
Mm.
Or a
No,
liquid?
that's not a conductor though. Well, it can be. Okay, never mind. I want to say it's a diode, but I'm also not sure. But that has like the point where it like starts and can't go the other way.
That
Yeah.
sounds smart, so I'm going to put that.
Yeah, it might be a diode.
I don't think that's correct. I'm just.
I think it still has resistance though.
It does have well, after a certain point, it just yeets. But then it would still have a resistance.
What discovery won the first Nobel Prize in Physics in 1901? Just what they
Yeah,
discovered.
just what they discovered.
Is it something to do with like the atomic structure? Like
Yeah, I was
they
thinking,
discovered
is it
like the
like
protons,
nucleus?
like the guy
I'll
who-
give you a
Is it
clue.
like
It's
Krieger and
something
Martian
to
worked
do-
for or whatever?
It's something to do with the electromagnetic spectrum. That's the only clue I'm gonna
Is
give
it
you.
radio
know any-
waves?
You're getting close.
Sound waves. It's like
Sonar?
Okay. Which of the
Goodness.
following is not one of the 4 fundamental forces in physics? Gravitational, acceleration, or the strong force?
I don't even know what the strong force is.
I mean either, so I'm gonna go for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but the
Is
thing
there-
is,
No,
it
but
might be
acceleration
fundamental.
isn't. But acceleration is caused by gravity, but it isn't a.
Yeah, I think it's acceleration.
What kind of eclipse do we have if the moon's between the sun and the earth?
So is it lunar or solar?
I
Yeah.
think
What?
it's solar because the sun is being eclipsed by the moon.
So either
That's a lunar
you've got
eclipse.
like the Earth,
Wait, is
the
it-
moon, and the sun, or the Earth, the moon, and the sun.
and the moon.
It'll either be
Earth, or
moon,
sun.
Earth, sun, or it
moon.
can be
Yeah.
Earth, moon, sun. It cannot be Earth, sun, moon.
Okay. What is the name given to the number of protons found in the nucleus of an atom? GCSE question.
It's the atomic number, isn't it? That is
Yeah. Or is it the atomic mass?
thing.
Yeah, the mass is.
And then you take away the atomic number from the mass, and that gives you the number.
And then you can find it.
Good teamwork, kids.
Yes.
What is the wire inside of an electric light bulb known as?
Well, it's a filament bulb, so it's a filament.
Bravo.
And the last question. What does the C represent in Einstein's famous equation E equals mc squared?
Custard.
Yeah.
Why did you say custard and then write it down? Isn't it, wait, equals mc squared. Mass. I'm assuming mass
times
mc squared. Mass times.
You know it.
Is it like? Is it something like?
Wait, gravitational
gravity.
pull. Wait, no, because that's just. Then that's just. I feel like it is, but also I feel like that isn't correct because there's another equation for that.
Equal the force, because if you're saying m is mass and then you're saying gravitational, then that would mean that.
This is not gonna work.
I'm
but
just
when you
gonna
have
put custard.
I'm going with gravitational pull.
Okay, good.
Are you guys ready for the answers?
Yes,
Oh,
please.
sure. Can I get the colored pen?
So ready.
Number 1, the answer was Neptune.
Oh. None of us. We didn't even like.
Great.
No, that makes sense though. But wait, well, it began with a T, didn't it?
I'm sure it came earlier in the song than Neptune.
Maybe the song is wrong.
Okay, question number 2. The answer was quarks.
Yay! Gonna be honest, can't remember what they are, but that's fun.
They're the
I
things
still
that
wrote
make
it down.
like
So
the
it's
quarks
the
are happily married in
subatoms of the
groups of 3 called protons
You're
and
on it.
electrons and neutrons. And there's something else flying around that wants to join in, but it can't because it's too hot. It's fine. We're good. Moving on.
The next question. There are 746 watts in 1 horsepower.
So who's closer? You.
I got
700.
700.
Oh my gosh,
How did
Poppy
you get
just
700?
Poppy?
You might
You
be the
never
closest.
told us.
Okay, Poppy gets a point.
I got
so excited there with my
666.
1,000.
Oh, the material that conducts electricity without resistance is called a superconductor.
That's a
That's
cool
so
name.
disappointing.
Yeah, it's a lot more simple than
So very anticlimactic.
the discovery that won the first Nobel Prize in 1901 was X-rays.
Ooh.
Poppy, why are you so good at this?
It's dates,
Well,
history.
CEO
I love how you,
of science.
okay, well,
Which one is not one of the 4 fundamental forces of physics? Was acceleration.
Look at that, guys. We
I knew
did
it.
it.
The other thing I was like, that sounds important.
What kind of
It
name
really-
is the strong?
Yeah, I think the strong force is between the subatomic particles in atoms, and then the weak force is like between the atoms. It's tricky. And the eclipse that happens when the moon is between the sun and the earth is a solar eclipse.
Yay!
Because the sun is
Wow.
being eclipsed, which is how my brain processed it.
Perfect. And the name given to the number of protons found in the nucleus of an atom is the atomic number.
Yay!
Yay, whoop whoop. I don't know how
Curly
to
whirly
wrap it.
today.
That'll come up in GCSE.
Yeah, it will, especially when we're taking chemistry too.
Which is
Yeah.
probably the only
Especially
reason we knew it.
chemistry. The second last question was what's the wire inside a light bulb called? And it is a filament.
I was so
Haha.
confident about
I
that
just
one. I was
copied
so scared I was
my
gonna get it wrong.
I was like, light bulb, filament.
See, if I just been quiet like Poppy and her 700, I would have been.
Well, I did put that down, but then I was also thinking when you blurted out, well, it's a filament light bulb. I was like, Isla, what are you doing?
And the
Okay, well,
last
I'm sorry.
question What does the C stand for? It's actually the speed of light.
Oh,
Oh.
that's
So it
less
wasn't
surprising
faster.
because
So-
wouldn't it just be little g if it was gravity?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
E equals mc squared means energy equals mass times the speed of light squared.
Sounds
Light is
familiar, but I
fast.
wouldn't have
Even
gotten it.
square that. Jeez.
Yeah,
Right,
it's a
okay.
really
A
famous
lot of
equation,
numbers.
but not many people actually know what it means.
I
So
just have like
count up your scores.
project MC squared. Oh
And
no.
we'll see who's
I don't
won.
want to talk
Well,
about it.
5. Well, 5 out of 10.
Same!
Same. I'm annoyed I could have gotten
Poppy
more
got
than you,
more.
but
Yeah.
I
disgusting.
think Poppy's the winner. Round of applause.
Bravo.
And now it's time for a physics riddle. Well, 3 riddles. And if you can get these, you'll go far.
You have 2 buckets of water and a marble. The water in the first bucket is 25 degrees Celsius and the other is at 25 degrees Fahrenheit. You drop the marble into each bucket in turn. In which bucket does it take the longest time for the marble to reach the bottom?
Milo?
Is that in Fahrenheit? Is that below freezing?
What do you think?
I don't know.
Fahrenheit is so complicated. Why didn't they just use like
I lived in
simple
America,
numbers?
so I have this little advantage.
I'm gonna go
I
with
feel like-
Celsius will take quicker.
So,
Tis true.
ideas. What are we thinking?
The water will be frozen in the
For number
Fahrenheit
one.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the
You got
Fahrenheit
it.
one, because freezing is like 30 degrees, so...
Yes,
That was
you
too
knew that. I
easy
was
for
just
you
like,
guys.
probably under.
So it would
I was just
definitely
like-
take longer in the Fahrenheit bucket.
Yep,
Yes.
wouldn't be going
because
anywhere.
It's a solid.
Yeah.
And
It'll
that's
be a
gonna
solid.
take a while.
I underestimated how quickly they get the first one, but these will get you thinking. So, riddle number 2.
You're standing outside a locked room with 3 light switches in the off position. Each light switch controls one of 3 bulbs inside the room. You can only turn on one of the switches at a time, and only when the door is closed. And you can only go into the room once to see which light bulbs were affected. How can you determine which switch controls each light bulb?
So
Can you
there's
like
3
see
switches.
under the door to see when you turn it on if it like
No. So once the door is closed, that's it. You can't see inside the room.
Wait,
Okay.
only once? You can only go in once?
Only
Yeah.
one.
Is there a limit to the number of times you can flip a switch?
No. You can flick them
But
however
you can only
many
see-
times you want. You can leave them on. You can do whatever
Okay.
you want.
I would get so confused
So-
if this was real life. I would just like flick it like 7 times.
You turn one on
Mhm.
and leave it for a bit. Turn another one on, but don't leave it for as long.
See which
turn
one's
them all
hot.
I
off.
see where you're going.
The hottest one is the one that you
yeah.
left longest. The warm one is the one that you turned on, and then the cold one's the one that you
Cold
left on.
one.
I was just gonna do running really fast.
Would you be able to tell which one was hotter?
A
And
Yeah, because if you
thermometer.
leave,
where
leave
they
one
were
on for,
when you
Actually, yeah,
went
leave
in.
one
for
on.
significantly longer.
Or just
But
leave
how
it
do you
on.
know how heat efficient they are? Like
Yeah.
like for all you
Are they
know,
the same type of light bulb?
like they could be LEDs and barely release. I don't know very much about light, so if I'm wrong, correct me. But they don't release that much energy. They're meant to be quite efficient, right?
This
Am I wrong?
might be up a bit.
I could be wrong.
You could leave
But, like-
one on and then feel which one's warm.
Yeah, you've got it.
Yeah.
What you would do is you would turn one on for like 5 minutes or something, and then you would turn it off and switch the next one on. Then you'd go into the room and you'd be able to tell which one was hot. So that would be the switch that controls that light bulb. And then the one that's on is obviously the one that you just turned on, and the cold one is the one that you didn't switch on.
Knowing me, I'd probably forget which one I'd
Yeah,
left on
I
for
was
ages.
just gonna say that. I'd be like, which switch was
so
that?
true though. So true.
Okay, so the last riddle.
You're in a boat on a lake with a bowling ball also in the boat. You throw the bowling ball overboard and it sinks to the bottom of the lake. Does the water level in the lake rise, fall, or stay the same?
It stays the
It
same.
stays the same.
Because it was
the
already
mass is
in
the
the
same.
boat.
How buoyant is the boat?
What?
I think it's up to you.
Because, like, if you had a super... It depends, like, whether... Wait, no, it would weigh it down anyways. Actually, no,
the
it stays the
mass
same.
is still the same.
Yeah.
Because mass isn't
Wait, no, but if it's
pushed
above
away.
the water... Wait, no, still,
No, but
the
it's still
weight
got
would
to be
still...
on the water.
Yeah, no,
The
no,
volume,
never
the
mind.
volume of both the volume of
I
both
was like,
the
wait.
boat and the bowling ball inside or on the water is
Yeah,
the same.
no, it's the
because
same.
even though
It stays the
the
same.
yeah.
I get it, it's fine. I just
Yeah.
had a moment.
But what if you had a really dense little mass? Like, so a really dense bowling ball that's really small, and you had that in the boat, and then you took it out. So it's got a really small volume but a really high mass. And that's going to weigh the boat down quite a bit. But when you take it out, what do you think is going to happen?
It won't displace as much. The water level will, like... I'm gonna stop talking, I just can't phrase words right now.
Interpretation
Isn't
is
it-
great.
I know what I'm
If
trying to
it's
say,
just a
it's just not coming
standard
out.
like bowling ball.
But you can imagine, if you imagine like extreme values, it might help you to figure out what's going on. So you've got...
But like the density will affect the boat, but the actual like size of the mass will not affect how much it weighs down the boat. But when you put it in the lake, no, the size will not affect it. Think about the amount of water something displaces. Think about it. Because like if you have something, it's going to weigh down something the same amount. But if you take it, but if it's just a small object and you put it in, it's going to displace less water than it was when it was pushing down the whole boat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The water level will rise.
Yeah,
No.
because
It will.
no, I think
it will lower. I think.
It will do what it has to
definitely
do.
onto something.
if that is going like that, and then the water's going up. Okay, yeah, I'll go down. Right? I'm
Yes,
confused,
guys.
but I get it.
Think.
Yep, you're right. The water level will fall.
Because there's a big surface area pushing bloop and then
Volume, not surface.
Yeah.
No, but yeah.
If it has a small volume but a large density, then yeah.
Yeah, so well done.
Physics.
You
My
beat the
brain doesn't work in quarantine.
and that is it. Thanks, guys.
Really?
Yeah, you made
Wow.
it. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll put the full list of quiz questions and answers in the description. If you have any suggestions for other videos or would like to see more videos like this, put them in the comments, and I'll see you next time.
You got the sun in the middle.
No, you cannot have the sun
You
in
can
the
have
middle.
it.